So I wanted to make this video as a kind of walkthrough slash follow along guide for those of you who are interested in upgrading the internal storage of your Steam Deck OLED. This is the first time that I've opened up the Steam Deck OLED. I'm not too nervous about it. The only thing I'm nervous about is the kind of plastics. Tinkering around inside of a computer isn't foreign to me. If you aren't somebody who's built a computer or who has upgraded your home PC, then don't worry. This is actually quite easy to do. You're not going to break anything as long as you follow the instructions and are relatively careful. Obviously, you don't want to be banging around inside of your Steam Deck. Similarly to, you wouldn't want to be doing that inside your computer. But the Steam Deck was kind of designed with this kind of tinkering in mind, so it makes sense that this upgrade is actually rather simple. But other than that, I think this should be fun. So come on along with me. Let's take this journey together and follow along with these steps. I'm pretty sure I'll be successful. So if I am, while you're watching this, I decided to upload it, so that means I'm probably successful. Let's go ahead and head over to the other room where I have kind of the space to work on something like this. So to perform this upgrade, here are the items that I suggest having available. Obviously, you'll need your Steam Deck. You'll need the case that it came with. You'll need a Torx T6 screwdriver, which, if you have an iFixit kit, odds are you'll have a Torx T6 screwdriver head in here somewhere. A pair of tweezers, and a bunch of these, maybe not a bunch, maybe just one or two of these sort of iFixit guitar pick type things, and a tray to keep your screws from rolling around. This just happens to be a magnetic one that I got from Micro Center that I personally really like. And there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this. So the first thing that you'll want to do, obviously, is power down your Steam Deck. So if your Steam Deck is still on, you are going to go to the Steam menu, go down to Power, and hit Shutdown and Confirm. Okay, so now that the Steam Deck is powered down, you want to go into the BIOS and put the Steam Deck's battery into storage mode. So the way you do that is by holding down the volume up or plus button and pressing the power button. And once you see the little LED light up, then you know it's going into the BIOS. Now, from here, you'll go to Setup Utility. Oh, obviously you can't tap it. Setup Utility. You'll go to Power, and you'll go to Battery Storage Mode, hit Enter, and click Yes. Once you do that, Steam Deck is powered down, it's in battery storage mode, and we are ready to do some surgery on the Steam Deck. Okay, so before you open up the Steam Deck, make sure you remove your SD card. This is really important because once you start opening this thing up, if you have an SD card in here, you will snap this thing in half. So take this out and set it off to the side. All right, so take your case, flip it around, and put your Steam Deck on it like this. This is great for basically being able to put your Steam Deck face down while protecting the thumbsticks, because you've got your little cutouts there for your thumbsticks. So there you go. Steam Deck is safely in here. So we'll go ahead and open it up. Oh, here we go. TR6. Boom, right here. All right, so let's go ahead and start unscrewing. Fortunately, all of the screws on the Steam Deck are, well, for the back cover are all the same, so you don't have to necessarily keep them separated or organized as you take them out. Now, I had seen online that some people were complaining about the fact that Valve had switched to Torx T6 screws from Phillips head on the LCD model. And I don't know why you would complain about such a change, because Torx screws are so much more secure. They're less likely to strip as you're screwing them, unscrewing them, etc. So yeah, I think it's a worthwhile change. I don't think there's any reason to complain about it. Anyway, yeah, so there are 8 screws that you need to remove. Once you've gotten the screws out, you're going to want to start pulling the back cover off. Once that first sort of click comes out, that's the clip sort of loosening up, then it becomes a little bit easier from that point on. You just slide the pick down and pull it apart as you go. Oops. And yeah, it can be a little bit janky, a little bit nervy, but don't worry about all that clicking sounds. Those are just the clips hanging on. There we go. Okay. So now, here's the inside of the Steam Deck. If you build PCs, this isn't too intimidating. Right, you've got the motherboard underneath this EMC shield. You've got the daughter boards for the controller, the thumbsticks, the triggers, the buttons, everything, you know, the trackpads, they're all in here. I won't obviously go too much into the layout, and then of course here's your battery. We do want to get this EMC shield out of the way. So we'll go ahead and actually unplug the ribbon cable, which is connected right in here. So there's this little clip here that you want to open up. So we'll grab that, pull it up just like that, and then grab the ribbon cable and pull it out. Okay, now that the ribbon cable's out of the way, we can go ahead and remove this EMC shield. Okay, so the EMC shield is connected, is screwed down in 2 places, up here in this top left corner and down here in the bottom left corner. So we'll turn it this way so it's easier for you to see. There are only 2 screws holding down the EMC shield internally. So now we can move the EMC shield out of the way. Now, you do want to be careful, particularly down here, because this piece of metal, this tab that's sticking out off of the EMC shield, is very, very flimsy and can bend very easily. So when you pull the EMC shield off, make sure to kind of give it a bit of a turn before you pull it back, so that this tab clears all of these connectors before you pull it out of the way. And then once it's clear, then it's easy to get out of the way. All right, and there you have it. To remove the SSD, it's just like removing an SSD, an NVMe SSD inside your computer that's connected to your computer's motherboard. It's just much shorter. This is a 2230 instead of a 2280. All you have to do is remove this screw here, and the SSD will kind of pop up like that. Here, let's see, turn it again. You just pull it right out, and boom. Okay, so once you have your SSD out, grab your new one. In this case, I'm going with a inland 2 terabyte SSD. And then we're going to take the shielding off of this guy. I'm going to put it on the new one. Okay, so what you want to do is insert the new SSD into the slot on the motherboard. And it should click right in at a 45-degree angle-ish. There you go. And in it goes. Boom. Very simple. Now, we want to put the EMC shield back on. So, you want to do this carefully because, again, this little tab here, it is kind of flimsy and can bend quite easily. So just pull it so that it clears all of the motherboard components there, and boom, it should slot right into place, and everything looks good. So we will grab the EMC shield screws, and we will put them back into place. Come on. And when you're working with computer components, it is a good idea to never over tighten the screws. Obviously you don't want them loose either, but don't give it a whole lot of torque when you're screwing it down. Basically, you want to screw it down until you feel it stop, and then give it one little quarter turn after that, and that's good enough. Okay, so the last thing we need to do before we close this up is put this ribbon cable back in. So the nice thing about this ribbon cable is that it's got these little tabs. So these 2 tabs will go behind these little plastic tabs sticking out here, and there's one on each side of the connector. So let's get that ribbon cable back in there. And once the tabs are behind those 2 nubs, that's when you know your ribbon cable is in. And then just push that tab down, and we're good to go. We do need to create the boot drive, so we'll go ahead and do that in a minute. Let's just, real quick, put this back on. So to put the cover back on, I just basically snap everything together, and then I run my fingers around the device, all the way around, giving it a little bit of pressure, just to make sure that there aren't any clips that haven't snapped into place yet. And that's that. All right, let's go ahead and create our boot drive with the Steam OS recovery. That way we can install Steam OS onto this new SSD. Okay, I realized I left out an important part. You're going to need to plug in your charger back into your Steam Deck before you can power it back on, right? We'll turn it on. And there you go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the setup process for the Steam OS recovery, and then we'll come back and install it. Okay, so to prepare the Steam Deck recovery image, you're going to navigate to the recovery instructions page, and I'll put a link to this in the description, and follow these instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go ahead and go step by step for the sake of the video. And you want to do this at any point before you boot up your Steam Deck for the first time after installing your new SSD. So just have this ready to go. So first thing you're going to do is download the recovery image by clicking this link. And there's an EULA that you're going to have to read. So be sure to read it and click the button there and download the Steam OS Deck image by clicking the green button. And then it'll start downloading. Now, just as an FYI, I don't know if it's going to do it to me here, but I have heard that this download hangs for quite a bit. So just be patient. I've read that it can get stuck at 100% and then sit there for like 10 or 15 minutes. So just be patient with it. Of course, it's going to call me a liar today and download right away. But it is what it is. Next, we're going to open a piece of software called Rufus. I'll put the link to this in the description as well. I already have it downloaded, but for the sake of let's go ahead and show you. You'll want to download whatever version works best for you. I've already got it downloaded, so I'll just open it. Click yes. And here we go. So the device is already set to my USB drive. Just double check to make sure that this is correct. And, I don't think it'll give you any other options unless you've got multiple USB drives. Just make sure to select the USB drive that you want to make the boot drive. And just bear in mind, this is going to wipe out whatever is on that USB thumb drive. So be aware of that. You're going to click select. And from here, click your Steam Deck repair and click open, and everything else should remain the same. Then click start, and it'll kind of go through some checks, and yeah, it just gives you a warning. All the data will be destroyed. Click OK. If you've got multiple partitions on this drive already from something you've done before, just click OK, and it'll go through this process. So sit tight. This could take a while. Go get a snack or a drink, and then come back once this is done. All right, now that it's done, we can go ahead and close Rufus, and in doing so, that should eject the drive already. But if it hasn't ejected, then you'll go ahead and eject that drive, and then unplug it, and then we'll head right back over to our Steam Deck. So once you've installed your Steam OS recovery image onto your thumb drive, plug it into your adapter, and then plug that into your Steam Deck. And then go ahead and, okay. So we'll go ahead and open up Boot Manager, which is the obvious selection. And then we will choose the USB drive, and then it will go ahead and boot up. Now, depending on the speed of your USB thumb drive, this could take a little while, so have some patience. It'll finish up, and then you'll be good to go. So yeah, so I'll just sit here and wait for a few minutes. Okay, so we've got the Steam Deck logo, which is a good sign. And now um, I'm in desktop mode. So here we go. I think from here, I'll just follow some of these instructions. Let's just go through all of this stuff here. I don't think I need to worry about all of this. This is just, Okay, so let's go ahead and choose Reimage Steam Deck. Whoops. Double click this. All right, this action will reimage the Steam Deck, will permanently destroy all data on your Steam Deck and reinstall Steam OS. Yes, this is a brand new NVMe, so I'm not worried about that. Proceed. And now it's going through the installation of Steam OS back onto the Steam Deck. And again, depending on the speed of your USB drive, this could take a little while, so I would advise patience. Maybe let it sit here for a bit. Grab a snack or something. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna need to hydrate. I will be back. I'm gonna get myself something to drink. We'll let it do its thing. I know I said I was gonna stay hydrated, and this is the opposite of that. So let me go take care of the actual hydration. I have some real hydration here. Now this is incredibly unsafe, what I'm doing right now, having an open glass of water right next to electronics. So don't do what I'm doing. Okay, re-imaging complete. So let's go ahead and proceed. So it's installed Steam OS, and now it's rebooting. And at this point, we should have a fully functioning Steam Deck that's like back to normal and everything. Once we're done with, just installing all of that and checking to make sure everything is working okay, I will go ahead and screw the back cover back on. But for now, I just want to keep an eye on this. And there's the boot animation. And here we are. It's good as new. English. I live in New York City, so where are you? Here you are. And I'll go ahead and put in my password. All right, and now we're connected to the internet. Continue. And now it's installing. All right, so this is going to take a few minutes. We'll let this go. And then we'll be done. Okay, so don't get discouraged when, all of this is cycling and booting up and everything. It is going to take a while, especially if it's the first time you're doing this. So just be patient. Don't worry about it. It'll get to the home screen. So now that we're here, we're at the login screen and everything, I'll go ahead and unplug my USB drive. Okay, so now that Steam OS is installed and I've gone ahead and logged into my Steam account and downloaded a handful of games, we'll go ahead and take a look at storage just to verify here. So we'll go to the Steam menu, we'll go to settings, We'll scroll all the way down to storage, and there you go. There is our internal drive. Has a total of 1.8 terabytes, and I've got my micro SD card over here. It's a 512 gig, but that's what we were looking for, just to make sure that everything looks good. Okay, so now that that's done, we'll go ahead and put it back to sleep and put the screws back into the back cover. The way that I do this is I screw each screw in a little bit, not even to the point of meeting much resistance, and then I go across to the farthest screw and screw this one in, not all the way, of course, and then this one. And this way, you're not applying too much pressure just yet. Just want to make sure that all of the screws get in before we tighten everything down all the way. Okay, now that we've verified that all of the screws can go in, we'll go back around and tighten everything down. Now, like I said earlier, you don't want to tighten to the point of really torquing everything. So once you're met with a little bit of resistance, just give it another quarter turn and another quarter turn until it doesn't move anymore. Okay, so there you have it. It's a very simple upgrade. Doesn't take too long, probably should only take you about 15-20 minutes to do it. That was fun. It was the first time I ever did an upgrade to my Steam Deck, and now it's kind of got me interested in, I don't know, performing more upgrades. There's bound to be some cool things I can upgrade, probably install some Hall effect thumbsticks, maybe some new face buttons, who knows? Sky's the limit with the Steam Deck, and it's great because there's so many options available to really personalize and customize the Steam Deck. So that's not really a personalization upgrade that I just showed you, but that's kind of, I think, the simplest internal upgrade that you can make to familiarize yourself with opening up your Steam Deck and performing an upgrade on it. That's very, very useful. So I hope this video was helpful, and good luck on your own Steam Deck upgrading journey.